A long time ago in a small town, two brothers lived there. One brother was very rich and the other was extremely poor. Both of them were married. The poor brother's wife was beautiful and kind-hearted, but there was never any food left in their home. So every day, from morning until evening, she worked at the rich brother's wife's house, sweeping, mopping, dishes, cooking, everything. But jealousy and envy kept burning inside the rich brother's wife, because the poor wife was far more beautiful than she was. And that jealousy was the revenge she took. No wages, no kindness. Every day she would say, "Whatever grains of wheat fall on the floor, pick them up. That is your payment." She would laugh as she watched a beautiful woman collect dirt-covered grains from the ground, and it filled her heart with a strange pleasure. Days passed. The poor brother and his wife endured this humiliation for the sake of their children. At night they prayed to Allah, "O Lord, one day please change our condition." One day the poor brother's patience broke. His voice cracked as he said, "I cannot tolerate this insult and this poverty anymore. I will not stay here another day, I am leaving. Maybe somewhere on Allah's earth there's a path for me too." He picked up a small bundle of belongings, placed his hand on his children's heads, looked into his wife's eyes, and without knowing his destination left his home. He kept walking through forest pathways and unknown routes until he was lost in a deep, mysterious jungle. Darkness had fallen. Rustling sounds came from the trees. Fear gripped him, and regret for leaving his loved ones stabbed at his heart. In that thick darkness, he saw a girl wrapped in a black cloak passing by. No sound, no pause, moving like the wind. He panicked, but suddenly hope flickered inside him. Where there is a human, there must be a path. So he followed her. The girl moved through the trees like a shadow of the night. The poor brother kept walking behind her. Crunching leaves, deep silence, and somewhere far away, owls screaming. After a while, through dense shadows, a massive, ancient, frightening mansion appeared. Black vines wrapped around it. The windows were filled with darkness, as if they had not seen light for centuries. As he stepped forward, he trembled. His heart said, "Run." But his mind said, "If you turn back now, you won't ever make it home either." He gathered courage and entered. He pushed open the door, and a huge, empty room stood before him. In the center, a fireplace was burning, and on it a large pot of meat was cooking. The aroma spread everywhere. Hunger twisted his stomach like it would tear open. He stood near the pot, and suddenly a voice came from behind. "Looks like hunger has stolen the shine from your eyes. You didn't even stop to look at the valuables around you." He turned around in fear. The same girl stood before him, dressed in black, a faint smile on her face. "Don't be afraid," she said. "My name is Navira. You are human. I can tell. Come, eat, and tell me your story." There was something strange in her tone, a mix of fear and softness, but hunger defeated fear. He sat down. While eating, he told his whole story. Poverty, hard work, his wife's humiliation, the wealthy brother's taunts and arrogance, and then leaving home. While saying all of this, his voice grew heavy. His eyes became wet. "My children must be hungry today, and I am sitting here eating the best food." Navira's eyes filled too. She listened silently. Then she spoke softly. "Your sorrow and your honesty will not let you leave empty-handed." She pointed toward the corner of the room and said, "Now listen carefully. There are 4 rooms in that hallway. You will open only the 4th room, and from there you will take as much silver as you can carry. But I swear, do not touch the first 3 rooms. And one more thing, never tell anyone about this, and never come back here again." And an unusual shine appeared in her eyes. The poor man listened carefully to Navira's words. Greed did not rise in his heart, because he had never dreamed of wealth in his life. He had only one desire: to feed his children. He crossed the long hallway and reached the shining carved doors. All 4 doors were silent, as if waiting for someone to touch them for centuries. He tried to touch the first door. Then suddenly Navira's words came back to his mind. Do not open the first 3 rooms. He pulled his hand back. He gathered courage and moved toward the 4th door. The door creaked slowly, and the shine inside filled his eyes. On the floor were piles of silver like mountains, bright, cold, and priceless. His steps froze there. He held his breath. No greed came to his heart. Only peace, that perhaps his destiny was finally smiling. He quietly stepped forward, picked up a small sack, and filled only as much as he could easily carry. Not more, not less. When he came outside, Navira looked at him and a slight, satisfied smile appeared on her face. You did not turn out greedy, so what you are taking is your right. Then, in a low voice, she said, If you had filled the sack completely, you would not have gotten far, and my mother would never have let you leave. He was stunned, but he understood. Sometimes saving your life is more valuable than wealth. With lowered eyes, he said, I always thought I was poor, but maybe I am not. There are only 2 ways the world looks at you: right and greed. And that is what makes the difference. Navira walked him to the path and gave one last warning. When you get outside, never look back and never return. He crossed the forest and came out into the morning light, and now there was no fear in his steps, only hope. The morning sun rose, and its glow brought a different radiance to the man's face, because now on his shoulders there was no burden of poverty, but a bag of hope. He reached the city, bought a small shed, some sheep, some goats, good food, and with memories of home in his heart, he started walking back toward his village. As he reached near the house, he saw his children breaking leaves from the bushes and eating them. The moment they saw him, they screamed, Abu has come! Abu has come back! The children ran and hugged him. In their hungry eyes, a shine appeared for the first time. He caressed them and said, Tonight, no one will sleep hungry. When he opened the door and called out, I brought food for you, hot bread, chicken, olives, the poor wife's eyes filled with both belief and happiness at the same time. Everyone ate until their stomachs were full. The children's laughter echoed in that house for the first time without pain. At night he told his wife the strange story of the forest. He said, We will sell these animals. We will make milk, yogurt, butter, and live from this income. The little silver that is left, we will repair the house with it. And you will never work in anyone's house again. In the red eyes of the wife, a strange belief began to float. Days passed, months changed, sheep increased, cows increased, crops grew, and money came. The house, which was once made of raw bricks, became a beautiful, strong home. Then that home turned into a small palace, and fate also showed that turn where the proud and arrogant rich sister-in-law now looked every day at the palace owned by the same people she once forced to pick grains from the dirt. One day she said to her husband, Your brother never comes. Maybe he does not need us. The rich brother answered with arrogance, Why should it matter to me? I am successful, he is unsuccessful. Life moved on. But the tricks of ego are often understood too late. One morning news spread in the village that the new mansion of the poor-turned-rich brother was shocking everyone. When the rich brother's wife heard this, she could not believe it at first. She went herself to see the house, and when she saw the huge mansion, she was stunned. She thought maybe there was some mistake. How could that house belong to him? She asked around. People said, Yes, this is the house of that same poor man. Maybe he found some treasure. She ran home and said, Your brother has found treasure. Otherwise, how could he have gotten all this so fast? Hearing this, sparks of jealousy flared in the rich brother's eyes. From that moment, greed wrapped around his mind like fire. The next day itself, he took gifts and sweet words and reached his brother's door. He said lovingly, "Brother, there is a feast tonight. You, sister-in-law, and the children must come." The poor turned rich brother thought maybe his brother's heart had changed. He felt happy. In the evening, the whole family dressed up and went to the big brother's house. There was eating and drinking, serving food, laughter, everything. But suddenly the rich brother's words changed. He made an excuse and sent the children to a separate room. Then he said, "If you want your children to return safely, tell me where the treasure is." Trust broke. The heart broke. The younger brother could not understand anything. The wife, helpless, told the whole truth. The forest, the palace, Navira, the silver room, everything. The older brother's eyes lit up. The rich brother prepared through the night. He wore torn clothes, took 2 large sacks, and went into that same black forest in search of treasure. Greed had become his path. Arrogance had already closed his eyes, and destiny was silently smiling. The next morning, on a fog-covered forest trail, the rich brother was walking. In his heart, there was only one thought. If there was silver, then there must be gold, and maybe diamonds and jewels too. He reached that same black palace. The door was silent, almost as if it already knew someone would come. As soon as he entered, he saw the same girl, Navira. She asked, "Who are you, and why have you come here?" The rich brother said while crying, "I am poor. I came here searching for work." Looking at his torn clothes, Navira felt pity. She repeated the same instructions. "There are 4 rooms in this hallway. Go straight to the 4th room. Only open that one. Stay away from the others." But greed is never satisfied with just one room. He went into the 4th room. The piles of silver made his heart jump. He filled his sack completely, but he could not lift it. Greed whispered in his ear, "If there is silver, then maybe there is gold." He opened the 3rd room. There was gold. He emptied the sack, filled it with gold, and then thought, "If I found gold, then there must be diamonds next." He opened the 2nd room. Red, green, and blue gems were glittering. He emptied his sack again. Now the fire in his heart burned even stronger. He thought, "The 1st room must have the most priceless treasure." When he opened the first door, all he found were huge sacks of wheat. In anger, he shouted, "If there is so much, then something special must be hidden." The moment he put his hand inside, a roaring voice came from behind. "A human in my palace, and that too through deceit." Terrified, he ran. The forest trembled. Branches snapped. His heart pounded like it might explode. In the end, he escaped with his life. But what was in his hand? Only a fistful of wheat. His wife was drowning in greed. Soon sickness came, poverty returned, and she left him. One day that broken man came to his younger brother's house. He knocked. The door opened, and standing there was the same woman he once made cry. She invited him inside, fed him, and said, "Whatever happened was a lesson. We do not take revenge. Allah gives justice." When the younger brother came and saw his shattered older brother, he took a deep breath and said, "Your strength should never have been money. Your strength should have been your heart." Then he smiled and said, "Now work with us, because goodness does not decrease when shared. It increases." This story teaches that whoever chases greed, greed eats their respect and their life, and whoever gives from the heart, Allah returns it from places he could never imagine. The fruit of goodness comes late, but when it comes, it is very beautiful.